I believe I know what Joe is going with.
Is this
Jason,
really?
that's my guess.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Listography. I'm here with Jason and Ryan. We are doing 1975, our favorite albums of that year. 1975, we were talking in 74 about how maybe it was an off year in 74. That changes in 75. All the big guns are back. Zeppelin, Queen, Elton John, The Who, Bruce Springsteen, Pink Floyd, Bob Dylan makes a big comeback with Blood on the Tracks. Pretty much everybody from the 70s that you like is releasing an album this year. So this is going to be a tough one. It was tough for me. I think it was tough for everybody. One quick note about the year, and I got to give a little love to my man, Elton John, because in 1975, he had 3 number one albums, which is insane. His greatest hits, which was the top-selling album of the year. He then had Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy and Rock of the Westies all hit number one in the same year. That's a pretty ridiculous kind of accomplishment. And unfortunately, it kind of is the end of the Elton John classic period that started in 1970 and basically made every one of my albums or every one of my lists maybe one of the best kind of 6-year runs in music history, up there with the Beatles, starting with Elton John and kind of ending with Rock of the Westies. But there's a whole lot more than just Elton John in 1975, so we might as well just kind of get into it because I have a feeling we're going to want to talk about some of these albums maybe more than usual.
So for me, a big year for hard rock. Pretty much every hard rock band from the 70s that I liked released my favorite album of theirs in 75. You got my favorite Zeppelin album, my favorite Aerosmith album, my favorite Queen album, my favorite Kiss album, my favorite UFO album. You've also got Rainbow releasing their debut. There's other good stuff that's not hard rock, like Northern Lights, Southern Cross, which is maybe the last great album by the band. It was tough to narrow down, but my 5 finalists are going to be Dress to Kill by Kiss, a band that maybe some people hate, some people love. If you hate them, I don't blame you. I always sort of feel conflicted about them, but they were the first band that I ever really loved, first band that really got me into music. Some of these records of theirs still just kind of rip. I think that the riffs on this record and Ace's playing especially is just really, really good on this record. And, after this, they would sort of start to slide downhill, bringing in studio musicians and just getting sort of overproduced a bit with their studio albums. And then I've also got Toys in the Attic by Aerosmith, as we discussed in our listography video. Pretty easily my favorite Aerosmith record, almost perfect from start to finish. I've also got the debut solo record by Ian Hunter, fantastic record. Got Mick Ronson on guitar, great tunes. Yeah, hard to beat. Then I've also got A Night at the Opera by Queen, just an amazing record. They go through so many different styles and they do them all so well. It's just a masterpiece of studio recording and songwriting and musicianship. One of the all-time great rock records. And then going in a slightly different direction for my number 1 pick, I've got Blood on the Tracks by Bob Dylan.
Davis and Kurt. Right down that.
I might like 70s Bob Dylan even more than 60s Bob Dylan, with the exception of maybe Self-Portrait. I think his 70s output is pretty immaculate. A lot of really, really great records. This might be the only one that gets in the top 5 in the 70s just because there's so much competition in all of these years. But, he really just returns to the top of his game on this record. Just fantastic songwriting. I love the sound of it. I love the sort of more relaxed vibe to it. I really love just every song on it. I think is fantastic. Hard to beat. That's my favorite for 1975.
So 1975, like Jason said, a really great year for hard rock albums. Yeah, with Aerosmith, UFO, Queen, Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd, not necessarily a hard rock album, but classic rock dynasty album. Not making my list, and as good as a year as it is for the hard rock, really only one of my 5 are is a hard rock album. It's kind of the singer-songwriters that are getting over the edge into my lists here. So my four runners-up are going to be Young Americans by David Bowie, Blood on the Tracks by Bob Dylan, Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy by Elton John, and I do have Physical Graffiti by Led Zeppelin as another runner-up. But my winner is Bruce Springsteen, Born to Run.
Davis and Kirk. Right down that. He's the grand prize.
One of my all-time favorite albums, no doubt. It's just like this awesome big blue-collar drama that no one had really heard, living the American dream, simultaneously criticizing it and celebrating it. The sound is great. It's got this big band party feel, really cool, soothing, fun sax, mystical piano. It's beautiful and rugged at the same time. Just kind of conjures up like the feeling of grabbing a beer after your dead-end union job, but kind of finding solace in your friends and your family and your romances. There's always like this promise and this allure of a better future, but if you're going to fail, you have something to come home to, and you're probably going to fail. Like, I think Bruce Springsteen's album are a lot more pessimistic than people realize, or if they do realize, I've never really heard about it, but it's just got this dirty glory feel to it. The first four songs on it are excellent. Thunder Road, 10th Avenue Freeze Out, Night, Backstreets. The next four songs are even excellentler. It's Born to Run. She's the One, probably my all-time Bruce Springsteen song. It's fantastic all the way through. I think it's probably his best album, and this was kind of an easy choice for me. 1975, Born to Run by Bruce Springsteen.
An excellent choice for sure. Didn't make my list, even though it's by far my favorite Bruce Springsteen album, and Thunder Road. It's in the conversation for my favorite song of all time. But it's just one of those years. There's a lot of albums that I wanted to get on this list, but I didn't. I wanted to get ABBA on here. Maybe in the future I can squeeze them on there, but just too much here. I rearranged this list a lot. So I'm going to go with Katie Lied by Steely Dan. Very jazzy, kind of personal, dark album from them. Maybe my favorite Steely Dan track in Dr. Wu. Number 4, Wish You Were Here, Pink Floyd. Probably my favorite Pink Floyd album. Kind of all around works, great keyboard sounds. I think David Gilmour's guitar playing on Have a Cigar alone would probably get this album in my top 5. Just incredible. Love his work on this album. Number 3, I gotta go with Queen, A Night at the Opera. Like Jason said, it's just kind of them doing whatever they want and very well in the conversation for my favorite Queen album for sure. Then we got Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy. It's either this or Goodbye Yellow Brick Road for my favorite Elton John album. Again, a real personal album, stripped down kind of compared to his other stuff. And I wanted to get Rock the Westies on there for the rare double, but just kind of missed my list. Along with many other great albums, my favorite, and this was a very easy choice, my favorite album from, what does that say? Physical Graffiti. That is correct, Ryan Kramzer.
Davis and Kirk. Right down that. He's the grand prize.
It's a real obvious choice. My favorite band, my favorite album, Physical Graffiti, just, a double album. Led Zeppelin just kind of doing whatever they want, touching on a whole bunch of different genres. You got the kind of homage to Neil Young, Down by the Seaside. You got some prog action in the light, stuff like Black Country Woman and 10 Years Gone, some softer stuff, some harder stuff, some blues, In My Time of Dying, and, just epic rock and roll like The Rover and Kashmir. And it's just kind of them at the height of their powers. And, as good as all the other albums are from 1975, this was just an easy choice. I think people know about Physical Graffiti. It's not like some other double albums where there's some kind of filler and maybe some deep cuts. It's just them rocking the crap out of these songs and just killer tracks across the board. So yeah, easy choice. Physical Graffiti, Led Zeppelin, and that's it for 1975. It's all downhill from here, I guess. But
I don't think it's downhill, but
it'll never be this good again.
We'll see. 76 is not bad from the view from here. So
alrighty then. Well, thank you for watching 1975. Like the video, Leave your picks for your favorite albums of 1975. Subscribe, hit the bell, and we'll see you again in 1976.
I did guess that you were going to go Captain Fantastic, and when you listed that as a runner-up, I rewrote Physical Graffiti.